You drain your paycheck on designer clothes and luxury cars to impress strangers. Stop upgrading your lifestyle after your next raise. Funnel your second income into index funds and hold those shares for decades. You scroll through your phone in bed. A person from your social media feed posts pictures from Art Basel in Miami. The photos show crystal champagne glasses, a black G-Wagon parked at the hotel valet stand, and a gold Rolex reflecting the bright camera flash. Society teaches you to associate those specific images with wealth. True financial security looks distinct. Wealth exists on a random Tuesday. It lives in the electronic bank transfers nobody photographs. It thrives on the choices you make before exhaustion sets in. The individuals holding real cash drive 10-year-old Toyota Camrys with faded paint. The check engine light on their dashboard stays illuminated through every commute. Your phone vibrates on the wooden nightstand. You ignore the glowing screen. A closed black notebook sits next to the device. You bought this specific notebook 3 weeks ago. You open the cardboard cover to plan your upcoming schedule. You left the page from 21 days ago half filled. A ceramic coffee mug left a wet ring on the paper, blurring the blue ink into a smudge. You flip past that old page without reading the written words. The apartment settles into a quiet Sunday night silence. Monday morning approaches. You look out the glass window. Your Camry rests under the yellow glow of the street lamp. The check engine light shines through the dirty windshield. You have planned to fix that oxygen sensor for several months. You write Monday at the top of a blank sheet. You add Tuesday below it. You are building a defense mechanism rather than a basic checklist. You decide right now to buy specific groceries like chicken and rice. You pick an exact time to leave for the office. You select Thursday as the day to call the mechanic about an oil change. You treat the process like basic calendar management. You secure the financial benefits inside these tiny, pre-made choices. Whitney lives 2 apartment doors down from you. She works steady hours as a dental hygienist. She avoids this type of Sunday planning. Whitney wakes up on Monday morning and chooses her breakfast in that exact moment. She decides whether to visit the gym during her lunch break. She picks her dinner option while standing in her kitchen. You lose 9 times out of 10 when you leave the choice unplanned. Last Tuesday, she ordered a $14 burrito bowl through the DoorDash application at 9:40 at night. She could have assembled a similar meal from her refrigerator ingredients for $3. She finished a 10-hour shift cleaning teeth and lacked the mental energy to cook. You have watched her open the delivery application on her phone screen multiple times. The purchase stems from delaying the choice until the moment of execution. You create the extra cost by delaying the choice. You recognize her habits because you lived that exact lifestyle 2 years ago. You remember receiving an overdraft text alert on a Thursday. The bank charged you $35 because your account balance dropped $12 below zero. You did not act recklessly that week. You failed to make choices in advance. You drain your bank account on unplanned days. Your pen moves down the notebook page. You schedule Wednesday for packing a turkey lunch. You note the fuel gauge sits below the halfway mark. You plan to stop at the gas station on your morning commute rather than after work. You assign Friday for calling the auto shop. You are protecting your future self from making rushed choices in a crowded parking lot with 15 minutes left on a break. A different version of this evening exists. In that alternate timeline, you leave the notebook closed. You let the week dictate your actions. That alternate version of you reaches Wednesday feeling drained. You create that exhaustion by making the same 3 basic choices every single morning. You refuse to return to that mental state. You close the notebook cover at 8:15. You experienced no dramatic events. You did not move any large sums of money. You took the small decisions that usually cost you a Tuesday night delivery fee and completed them on a quiet Sunday evening. The oil light still glows outside your window. You will handle that repair on Thursday according to your written plan. You plug your phone into the wall charger. The automated system takes over between tonight and midnight on Thursday. Your alarm sounds at 6:15 in the morning. Your phone vibrates twice on the nightstand before you open your eyes. 2 notifications sit on the lock screen. You know the contents of those alerts. The bank completed the transactions while you washed your hair in the shower. Your employer deposited your paycheck into your checking account at midnight. The system moved the money to its designated accounts. The system transferred $200 into a high-yield savings account earning over 4% interest. You would have considered that interest rate fictional 2 years ago. The system moved $150 into your Roth IRA. You opened that retirement account at age 24 with $50 and a large amount of uncertainty. Your current income keeps you under the annual contribution limit. You can contribute $7,500 this year if you remain under 50 years old. Every dollar entering that retirement account today prevents your January self from scrambling for cash next December. You set up these automatic transfers months ago at this same kitchen table. The system runs in silence now. The automated system executes the transfers regardless of your Thursday mood. Dante works on the floor above you at the office. He manages his money using the opposite method. He waits until the end of the month and saves whatever cash remains. He explained this strategy to you over coffee in the break room last week. He treated his lack of a plan like a quirky personality trait. Dante signed a lease for a black BMW X5 X-Drive 40i. He pays $749 a month for 36 months. The contract includes gap insurance. He started discussing the extended warranty package before the new car scent faded from the leather interior. He asked you to name the bank holding your high-yield savings account. You gave him the name. He nodded and promised to research the institution. He has repeated that same promise since March. You hold no judgment regarding his vehicle choice. You observe his financial reality. His end-of-month leftover money never materializes. A birthday dinner consumes the extra cash. A flat tire drains the remaining funds. A Thursday night outing turns into an unplanned bar tab. People who refuse to automate their finances invent the concept of leftover money. Dante proves this rule true every single month. You step out of the shower and look at your phone screen. The two transfers sit in your transaction history. You find the completed actions boring. You see no massive spikes on your investment charts. You find no notifications deserving a screenshot. You transformed $350 from a daily choice into an automated habit. You used to experience a quiet dread around payday. You knew the money would vanish before you could appreciate your hard work. You watched that anxiety disappear. You felt a profound sense of relief replace the dread. You no longer have to trust your future self to execute a plan you established. You put on your clothes. The remainder of your paycheck sits in your checking account. That money waits for utility bills, fuel purchases, and weekly necessities. You notice the balance looks smaller than it did in the past. You recognize the smaller number as pure honesty. Every single dollar in that checking account has an assigned job elsewhere. You grab your keys from the kitchen counter. You look down at your boots on the way out the door. You have worn this same pair since January. The leather still holds its initial shape. You will need to buy a replacement pair in the future. You will make that purchase in the future. Saturday afternoon finds you standing in the footwear aisle at the Outfitters location off South Boulevard. You hold your worn Red Wing Iron Rangers next to a new pair to inspect the heavy yellow stitching. You purchased your initial pair last January for $325. You wore the boots for 6 months and transformed the stiff leather into a deep amber shade from constant use. You notice significant tread loss on the thick rubber soles near the heel, prompting your return today. The boots maintain their structural integrity while reaching the end of their usable lifespan through steady work on concrete sidewalks. A metal display rack near the cash register holds a cheaper alternative for $50. The manufacturer copies the exact silhouette of the Iron Ranger for the budget option and glues the rubber pieces to the leather upper, skipping the heavy thread. You admire how the cheap boots look great in bright store lighting while knowing they will fall apart before the spring rain arrives. You lift one off the shelf, examine the smooth bottom, and place it back. You ran this financial calculation in your head many times before today. You spend more money over a 3-year period, replacing the $50 option twice every 12 months compared to buying the premium pair once. The employee at the register skips explaining this long-term math during checkout. You experience the difference by feeling the dense leather of the premium boot compared to the flimsy synthetic material in your hands. Your mind drifts to Autumn from your accounting department. She posted a picture on Thursday holding a Louis Vuitton Neverfull bag outside the Italian restaurant where your team ate the quarterly dinner. Autumn paid $2,150 for the tan monogram canvas tote after saving money from her paychecks for several months. You support her purchase and respect her saving habits. You observed her posing for the picture and recognized your indifference to the intense desire you used to experience in similar situations. 2 years ago, you would have driven home and opened your mobile banking application to torture yourself with the low balance in your account. You skipped opening the banking app last night to avoid that familiar stress. You still appreciate high-quality items and enjoy owning nice things. You approach purchases by asking what the item will provide for your daily life, prioritizing utility over your checking account balance. You enjoy 6 months of dry feet and a custom shape that molds to your arches each morning when you wear the heavy leather boots. You evaluate the designer bag with complete honesty regarding its utility. You get one nice photograph for social media and a temporary mood boost that vanishes by the following Tuesday from the designer bag. You gain some value from the temporary mood boost during your week, yet the steep price tag demands a higher amount of money than that fleeting feeling warrants. You carry the new pair to the front and hand the cashier $325, matching your previous purchase price including local sales tax. Trevor, a cashier around your age, examines your worn boots and compliments their impressive durability. You explain your plan to drop the old pair in a charity donation bin because they remain wearable for someone else. Trevor nods in clear agreement with your practical choice and scans the new box. You walk toward your Toyota Camry with the heavy shopping bag bumping against your leg. You notice the absence of public discussions regarding these specific financial choices. Social media users skip uploading pictures showing a pair of scuffed boots that survived years of hard use. Influencers omit captions celebrating the choice to skip a trendy purchase that would cause financial stress by March. You make this quiet choice in stores and online, keeping the decision personal and free from external validation. You drop the shopping bag onto the passenger seat and check your phone screen before starting the engine. You read a calendar notification reminding you about your annual performance review scheduled for 10 in the morning inside the Human Resources Conference room this coming Monday. You spent the last few weeks estimating the salary increase or bonus number management might offer based on company profits. You sit in the parking space deciding how you will allocate that new money before the official paperwork reaches your desk. Monday morning hits 10 o'clock. The stale aroma of burnt coffee permeates the HR conference room. The air conditioning blasts freezing air. The thermostat setting remains a permanent fixture in that specific room. The cold air bites through your shirt collar. Karen manages the department. She slides a printed document across the table mid-sentence. The physical paper hits the wood surface with a soft thud. Your eyes catch the figure before her voice registers the amount. $200 extra arrive with your next paycheck. The payroll department scheduled the increase for the upcoming pay period. The extra cash changes nothing major. A standard increase for a solid year of work carries no grand expectations. The corporate structure views the bump as a reasonable reward. A tiny spark of warmth flares in your chest. You suppress the feeling. The physical reaction surprises you. The walk back to your desk takes 2 minutes. Your brain mapped the entire allocation. You finalized this specific plan during that Saturday parking lot session before the specific figure existed. The concrete strategy sat ready in your mind. You visualized the exact bank transfers while sitting in your car. Your laptop screen wakes. The phone rests on the desk to avoid digital temptation. Mobile devices harbor too many distractions. Dante works in marketing. His Instagram profile occupies a browser tab from lunch. He uploaded a photo outside a BMW dealership last week. The caption reads, "Treat yourself," alongside a tag for the finance manager. You close the browser window. The banking application takes its place. $200 require division. You assign $40 to a tangible reward. You buy a standing Sunday morning coffee at Not Just Coffee on Central Avenue. The shop serves excellent pour-overs and fresh pastries. This weekly ritual provides consistent happiness without requiring logical defense. The barista knows your order. You route the remaining $160 into your Roth account. This deposit stacks on top of your existing automated transfers. The retirement balance climbs higher. Compound interest works its magic on the new contributions. The math takes 10 seconds. You know unassigned cash evaporates into dozens of minor purchases by the end of the month. Small leaks sink financial ships. You learned this lesson through past mistakes. A similar pay increase from 2 years in the past would have funded a nicer apartment. You would have scrolled through real estate listings that evening. You would have convinced yourself that you deserved a spare bedroom. The internal narrative would have demanded an upgrade. You sign a lease renewal for your current one-bedroom unit off Central Avenue. Your rent remains $1,450. The landlord kept the price flat. You chose to keep your living arrangement identical. You refuse to alter your lifestyle to match a number on a piece of paper. Financial peace matters more than square footage. Corrine drops a casual comment about submitting a house offer in Cornelius. The town of Cornelius offers great suburban living. She praises the local schools and downplays the property size. You ask for more details. She mentions Lake Norman waterfront properties listing for approaching $3 million. The Those estates feature private docks and massive boat lifts. Her actual purchase sits below that price point. She spotted a luxury estate during a weekend drive and fixated on the memory. The grand house occupied her thoughts. You share a laugh. You feel secure in your own choices. You notice everyone around you pricing their lives against random sights they glimpsed during a commute. The workday ends, you allocated the extra income. You committed the funds during a 10-minute planning session. This choice repeats every single month. Your colleagues remain unaware of the allocation. Human resources requires no paperwork. No accounting line item tracks the move. You tell nobody. The process unfolds like your automated transfers and your Sunday night routines. You stack invisible decisions. The silent system builds your future. You drive your silver Camry home. The orange check engine light glows on the dashboard. You paid for an oil change last Thursday on schedule. The warning light stays illuminated. The mechanic diagnosed a minor electrical glitch. The repair can wait. The vehicle runs fine for the daily commute. Your mind drifts to the growing balance inside your Roth account. That money arrived from multiple distinct sources. A single income stream did not fund the account. Relying on multiple income streams makes perfect sense. Multiple income streams need somewhere to go, and index funds give that money a place to grow without demanding your attention. Wednesday nights at the gym on Monroe Road sit half empty. You share the floor with a handful of regulars and the guy running on the treadmill beside you. Colton keeps his headphones draped around his neck because he prefers conversation over music. He sells something downtown, and every time you cross paths, he steers the talk to the same spot. Some stock he uncovered, a trade about to pop. Tonight he brings up a biotech ticker he read about on a forum at 1:00 a.m. last month. The topic was GameStop riding a second or third wave. He made $1,100 by Tuesday and lost nearly $2,000 by Friday. He recounted the whole swing the way someone describes rain, treating gains and losses like weather that happens to a person. You nod, you stay quiet. Your mind sits on an email still unread from Bianca, an editor at a small regional magazine. A friend of a friend passed along your name. She wanted to know if you took freelance copy editing work on the side. You agreed before making a conscious choice. One article, $180, $2 weeks to turn it in. The gig functions as a second deposit hitting the same account, separate from whether your employer posts a strong quarter or a rough one. Calling the arrangement a strategy would stretch the definition, and calling it a second job stretches it further. You picture Colton's brokerage balance next to yours. His numbers swing up and down while yours stay flat. That gap used to sting. You would scroll finance forums and watch strangers triple their balances in a month while your 401k posted gains of 0.5% at a time. This year you raised your 401k contribution. Every paycheck your employer roots a portion away before you see it, dropping the money into the same plain S&P 500 index fund you have used for 2 years. You hold no flashy ticker symbol. You can't point to one company and claim it carried your returns. You own 500 companies bundled together, doing the same thing they have done for a century, trending upward given enough time. Colton asks if you hold anything promising right now. You answer with the plain truth. An index fund and some freelance work on the side, nothing flashy. He looks disappointed on your behalf, acting as though you have overlooked something obvious. You used to carry that same doubt, staring at other people's portfolio screenshots and wondering if choosing boring meant falling behind. You lost that feeling somewhere over the past year. The boredom started to feel like proof the plan was doing its job. Colton operates his portfolio like a roller coaster with a 2-week memory. You keep yours in a 2-page spreadsheet that shifts a few numbers from one month to the next and never demands an explanation from anyone, least of all you. You finish your final set, wipe down, and grab your phone out in the parking lot. Bianca replied with another assignment by the time you checked. This one pays $220. You accept before you finish reading the message. This side work won't replace your salary, and you never designed it to. The freelance income serves as one additional strand next to your automated contributions and the raise you divided in half. You have aligned each piece in the same direction, and the whole setup runs without requiring your approval for every move. You drive home past the bank towers glowing against the skyline and think about the balance in your savings account. The number sits higher than at any previous point in your life. High enough that a word you have kept at arm's length for years starts to sound like something you could act on. A Tuesday afternoon phone call you could pick up and dial. Relying on multiple income streams makes perfect sense. You step onto the treadmill at the Monroe Road gym on a quiet Wednesday night. The expansive room holds a few familiar regulars wiping down equipment and the guy running on the machine right beside you. He rests his bulky noise-canceling headphones around his neck to start a casual chat about the market. Colton works in downtown corporate sales, and his absolute favorite topic remains the latest stock tip he found online. He pitches a new trade about to explode in value. Today he brings up a small biotech company he discovered on a late-night internet message board at 1 in the morning. He spent the previous month chasing a renewed GameStop rally during its second or third wave of popularity among retail traders. He made $1,100 on a random Tuesday and lost nearly $2,000 by Friday evening. He shares these wild financial swings with the casual tone of someone discussing the morning rain or local traffic on the highway. You offer a polite nod and keep your mouth shut. Your mind wanders to an unread email from Bianca. She edits for a small regional print magazine and tracked down your contact info through a friend of a friend to ask about freelance copy editing on the side. You agreed to the gig on impulse without giving it much thought. The client pays $180 for the single article with a strict 2-week deadline. You use this extra work to create an independent wire feeding your primary bank account. You deposit the extra cash directly into your reserves regardless of your main employer experiencing a profitable quarter or a rough patch. Colton manages a volatile personal brokerage account while your retirement portfolio sits idle. The stark contrast annoyed you in the past. You watched forum members triple their balances in 30 days while your 401k crept forward by tiny fractions of a percent each month. The annual contribution limit increased this year. Your employer now deducts a much larger slice from every single paycheck before the money ever reaches your personal checking account. You use those automatic deductions to purchase shares in the identical Broad S and P 500 index fund you selected 2 years ago. You lack a flashy ticker symbol to impress your friends at dinner parties or large family gatherings. You own a tiny fraction of 500 established businesses instead of picking a single winning lottery ticket. These massive corporations continue the century-long tradition of growing their overall value over extended periods of time. He asks about your current investments while catching his breath on the treadmill beside you. You give him a direct answer about your plain index fund and your small freelance project. He forms a sympathetic frown. He firmly believes you are missing out on massive market gains. You shared that exact insecurity a year ago while staring at other traders posting their daily profit screenshots on social media. You equated a steady approach with falling behind the crowd. You changed that mindset over the last 12 months. The quiet strategy now operates the way you designed it. He watches his personal brokerage balance swing wildly and reset every fortnight with a short memory. You track your finances on a basic 2-page spreadsheet requiring 0 updates, 0 stress, and 0 complex explanations. You complete your workout, wipe down the machine, and grab your phone in the empty gym parking lot. Bianca sent a follow-up message offering another assignment for $220. You accept the new project with less hesitation than the first one. This side hustle will never replace your primary full-time salary. You never expected it to. The extra income adds another strong thread next to your automated savings and the recent raise you divided between spending and investing. You use these separate financial routines to push your net worth higher without demanding your constant supervision or permission. You drive past the illuminated downtown bank towers against the dark night sky and review your current savings balance on your bright phone screen. The total sits at an all-time high. You let the large balance turn the idea of early retirement from a distant daydream into a realistic phone call you could place this Tuesday afternoon. That realistic phone call points you toward a property on Reagan Drive in East Charlotte. The listing describes a 3-bedroom brick ranch from the 1960s. The structure features a carport instead of a garage and a massive magnolia tree dominating half the backyard. The seller asks for $290,000. You tour the place 2 separate times. Both visits end with you lingering in the kitchen, staring at the old appliances. You trace your fingers across a laminate countertop you do not own yet. Your brain runs the mortgage calculations, recalculating the exact math you finished on paper the previous night with a blue pen. You picture the down payment leaving your checking account. Your real estate agent Delphine joins you at the included wooden kitchen table. She brings 11 years of industry experience and a strict policy against small talk. She reviews the financing details one more time. You plan to put 20% down using the savings account that has grown on autopilot for 3 years without requiring daily attention. You lock in a 30-year fixed mortgage rate at 6.5%. Speaking the final monthly payment to the room makes your stomach drop. You knew the exact figure from your spreadsheet, but hearing the number changes the feeling. Sleep evades you that night. You lie in bed matching the new housing cost against your regular paycheck and your automated savings transfers. Your mind invents terrible financial scenarios. You picture your car breaking down on the highway. You imagine a slow advertising revenue month at the magazine. You visualize an expensive water heater bursting in a house you now own instead of a property a landlord manages and repairs. 2 in the morning brings strong urges to cancel the deal. Walking away would require zero effort. Your friends would understand your hesitation. Paying rent offers a peaceful lifestyle, and you keep your appreciation for that peace hidden from your peers. You sign the paperwork. 3 weeks pass. You sit in a brightly lit title office on a Tuesday afternoon. A massive stack of legal documents covers the desk. You sign your name dozens of times while the title agent watches. Delphine hands you the front door keys with a casual attitude. She completes this exact process hundreds of times a year. The transaction represents the largest financial commitment of your life. 2 months into homeownership, the stock market experiences a noticeable downturn. Financial websites fill your feed with red downward arrows and urgent warnings from analysts predicting a total collapse. Your retirement account balance shrinks enough to catch your attention. You open the investment app out of pure habit and regret the action the moment the screen loads. Your friend Colton sends a text message containing a screenshot of his own portfolio. His losses exceed yours, and he adds 3 exclamation points to convey his frustration without typing a single word. You send back a single thumbs up emoji. Selling your assets remains absent from your mind. The thought appears for 4 seconds before vanishing from your thoughts. You recall Delphine mentioning past clients who purchased rental properties during the 2009 financial crash. Those investors bought unwanted buildings while the general public panicked. You avoid making any dramatic portfolio changes. Choosing inaction becomes your primary strategy. Repeating this choice every day transforms doing nothing into your official financial plan. 4 weeks later, the stock values recover. Markets follow this exact upward pattern throughout the last century of documented history. You stop checking your investment balances every hour. You limit your balance reviews to Sunday mornings alongside your financial notebook at the kitchen table. Most weeks require zero adjustments. The new house produces loud creaking noises your old apartment lacked during cold nights. The giant magnolia tree sheds thick brown leaves across the entire lawn every few days. Raking those leaves into plastic bags provides a surprising amount of personal satisfaction. You drag the heavy bags to the curb for the city trash collectors. You continue driving your old Toyota Camry. The check engine light on the dashboard turned off by itself last week. The car either repaired its own computer glitch or hit a deeper mechanical issue. You avoid taking the vehicle to a mechanic to find out the truth. You sit on the concrete back steps one evening. The metal house keys feel strange inside your pants pocket. You realize you have ignored other people's luxury cars, expensive watches, and tropical vacation pictures for several months. Zero spectators exist to validate your new lifestyle. No friends drive past to admire the brick exterior or the magnolia tree. No acquaintances notice the Camry parked under the carport. Building wealth creates profound quiet. You hear the wind in the magnolia tree instead of traffic. You cross no physical finish line. You take no victory photographs. No specific bank balance validates your entire existence in one moment. Your progress consists of Sunday planning sessions, automated bank transfers, and investing half of every salary increase before you can spend the money on fleeting desires. You repeat these small private actions until they become your default personality. The dashboard warning light might illuminate tomorrow. The stock market might experience another sudden drop. You will open your notebook on schedule. You will refuse to sell your investments. Somewhere across town, a person sits in a running car outside a crowded restaurant waiting for friends to notice their new vehicle. You struggle to determine which person holds more actual wealth.